Welcome to The Starting Point, the show where we talk about the latest news, team changes, and happenings in the world of Overwatch, League of Legends, and PUBG. In today's episode, we ask the question, is PUBG ready for esports? We meet Zoe, League of Legends' newest champion, and we talk about Moira. Is she too OP or clearly irrelevant? And as always, we have our top 5 gameplays of the week and other esports team news. I'm Judy, aka Jetset.
I'm Jimmy, aka Jim Basco.
And I'm Kyle, aka Alpha Lance.
So we're going to start off with our top 5 plays, things we've seen around the internet, really interesting plays across Overwatch, League of Legends, and PUBG. So let's start with Kyle's and Overwatch.
I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but the Overwatch World Cup this year was phenomenal. We had some amazing teams, some amazing plays, and I had to pick another one. There were just so many good ones. So this is France versus China. This is the quarterfinal. Spoiler alert, France wins. And this play that we're about to play here in a second is on Hanamura, point B2 defense, and China is defending. So we're starting here on Nox. We're not going to stick on him long. We're going to go to AKM right here.
Ooh, my man.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, one of them was a mech, but still. 4, and from there, France takes it.
Wow, that's all they needed.
What was the hole there?
All you needed, basically, was a second where China did not have a shield, they did not have a tank, they did not have any way to stop the damage coming in from AKM's tactical visor.
Once he got that diva out of mech, defense matrix is gone, and that's it.
Oh my
Free reign.
gosh.
Yeah.
Because the greatest part about Soldier 76's tactical visor is that it is guaranteed damage. Well, with the exception of barriers and stuff in the way of it, but it is landing hits for sure. Targets can be jumping around as much as they want. The shots are going to land.
It's Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's Call of Duty. So basically, AKM notices, hey, when I'm up here, I have this great view of the area. They have no shields, capitalizes, takes out pretty much the entire team.
Interesting.
Very nice.
That's nuts. Next up, let's see if you can top this lol pick, though. We have a new
I was going to say the
champion.
respect can only last so long.
I mean, I respect it until it's my turn. Then it's obvious I'm the best. So in my clip, basically, we're just seeing Zoe, this new champion with crazy new mechanics, as you'll soon see, being played at ridiculously high levels already by pro players and pro streamers. Go ahead and roll it. Zoe has this mechanic. She's called, I think, the aspect of Twilight or something. She is this child in between worlds that has these mechanics. One of them include a yo-yo. Did you catch that? Yeah. So she throws it back and then can angle it back in another direction. Yeah, you can really fake people out with it, and it's absolutely incredible. She also has this mechanic where you can sleep people. So you throw out a thing, and if they catch it after a certain amount of time, they fall asleep. The beauty of it is, your yo-yo does double damage if it hits a sleeped target.
Oh, so
So
extra burst.
you're about to see, watch the Callista. She's asleep. Boom.
Oh, God, that was such long range.
Absolutely, absolutely. She also has it does more damage the farther it goes.
Oh my
so
God.
she has her ultimate, moves her forward slightly. It's absolutely nuts.
So,
Is she?
what lane would she be playing in?
A lot of people play her mid, mostly because you can angle the sleep
Right.
up to really long distances. See, look at that snapback. Boom. See that?
Okay.
Ridiculous.
So she can wind it up so far and then have it come
She throws
all
it
the
back
way.
at any angle behind her, and then the farther it goes, the more damage it does. It's so wonderful to watch her outplay people, but it's also really frustrating.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I imagine. Oh, man.
Basically, I'm a Zoe main now.
Very nice. So she works as a support too. That's sick.
Yeah, she does a lot of stuff, but we can talk about that later during our patch notes segment. Let's move it over to the PUBG clip.
Sure.
Take it away.
In this PUBG clip, really, it's quite simple. It's not from anybody really notable. What you will see, though, is it's a guy in a 1v4 scenario, much like the clip from last week, except instead of a grenade this time, he's taking them all full on in a shack. So they're going to be coming left, right. He's doing some Neo Matrix type level stuff. Let's go check it out.
That's what I like to see.
Okay, so here he is behind the shack. He's
He's doing first aid.
kit.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't even get it off, so he's still stuck at 20% health, and he's like, okay, first guy on the left, another guy in the front. He goes to the right side. He's like, okay, here's someone here. He gets the third guy.
Are you kidding
He's looking
me?
for the last one, and he's able to get it. It's ridiculous.
Look how much health he has left.
Yeah, he has like nothing left.
Oh man.
Fiend.
Yeah, he's an absolute monster.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
So that was someone spectating. So someone basically is about to owe their friend a chicken dinner.
Yeah, definitely. He was the last guy alive. 3 people owe that guy a chicken dinner at least.
What a beast. Oh my god. That's what I like to see.
I love that the health doesn't get off. Like, if anything, the enemy team did everything right except for come at him one at a time.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate. And look at his
man.
health, it's so low.
Who lands the shot on him? Is it? Yeah, is that one lands the shot but doesn't get the second. And then I don't know what they were doing. Oh man.
That's textbook, man. See, that's what I want PUBG Esports to be.
Yeah.
I want that, like,
Yeah.
last stand, like, remember the Alamo, like, come get me, suckers. Like,
Honestly.
that's the business. That's what I like.
Yeah, no more camping, no tenting around the corner, no
Yeah.
No
circular.
going to Spawn Island and surviving off med kits.
Yeah, like honestly.
So, onto some community plays.
Unity.
I know, right? NYC Lulz, Kenneth, is actually starting to play Zoe. He picked it up as soon as he could, and he's got this gem for us here. So it's kind of awkward. He's facing a Draven mid lane. That doesn't really happen.
He's playing as
He's playing Zoe, yeah, exactly. So he catches him with a sleep. Remember Redemption?
Yeah.
Oh!
That's that support item you were talking about?
Exactly. So supports have this item that you can buy called Redemption with an active ability.
Right.
But Zoe has an ability that can basically just give her random actives.
God.
And so he uses it in his combo. As I don't know if you can tell, he's like level, I want to say 5.
Yeah, I want to say 5.
Most supports don't get Redemption until like way later. It's a costly item for a reason, but
Oh, redemption costs 3,000, right?
it's definitely a pretty high cost. But yeah, he's got it. He's got the active portion only at
Right.
level 3 and uses it in his combo to finish him off. Honestly, I don't even think he needed it.
That's
but
ridiculous,
I
though.
just love that. That's just another example of how powerful Zoe is.
So much burst.
So it looks like we've got some more PUBG footage here. Jimmy, take it away.
Thanks, Judy. Yeah, so we're going to be taking a look at IM Oakland, the PUBG Invitational that happened there from, I think, the 17th to 18th, 18th to 19th, something like that.
Yeah.
We're going to take a look more specifically at FaZe Clan and their multi-kill that they got during the tournament. So here he is. He's going to wrap around this car. Just going to take a couple shots at this guy.
Does he explode the car?
Did you just kill multiple people with that?
Yep. He killed the entire squad with
How
that vehicle explosion.
rude.
It's so unfortunate, but literally while it happened, people were going absolutely insane.
I
He
can
turned the
imagine.
corner.
I'd love to be in there.
He was just looking for a kill onto the guy. You see him, he misses the shots, but it works out totally in his favor.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, here he is, just jumps right on around.
Yeah, oh, that, I thought at first he actually was aiming for that. That's great that was accident.
That's really funny. He aimed for the dude, but the car was like, I must go, my people need me.
And if you saw, they were set up in like a little fort there too. They had the motorcycles set up in front,
they
the
were
car
using-
behind. Yeah, they were definitely.
They were using destructible objects as cover, which, yeah, no.
Not so fun.
Now that we've seen some cool plays across all 3 games, let's bring it back to the roundup where we recap tournament news. Overwatch has kind of not been super busy lately, right? Because it's still preseason, just like in League.
Yeah.
Kind of a lull.
Yeah, okay, so we can leave that for now. What about PUBG? I remember you mentioning IM Oakland.
Yeah, so they did have the Intel Extreme Masters Invitational. I think AAA Gaming finished that out, taking first place over the likes of big teams like TSM, FaZe Clan, Ghost Gaming. Absolutely ridiculous. I think the top 3 was AAA Gaming, Tempo Storm, and Ghost Gaming. So pretty formidable top 3. It's giving you a little look into the scene before, you know, real tournaments start getting set up.
So can you give me some more specifics? So what
Yeah.
was the format of this? What size were the teams?
Yeah.
Prize pool?
Yeah.
etc.
So it was pretty well set up. They had 8 matches throughout the day. It was squads of 4, so they did have some stuff for solos and duos, but most of the competition, the real good stuff, was in the squads. Speaking of competition, though, I know we're in the preseason for League and Overwatch.
So the pickup games for Overwatch right now are basically skirmishes between the teams. Because basically, if you want to practice for professional play, you might as well play with other professionals.
Yeah, I mean, it
So-
only makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like they're playing against each other right now, and it's high-level skill combat, but also there's nothing at stake.
Right, so it's not for realsies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
practice.
But
People
it's-
can
okay.
try things out. Maybe they're even hiding some aces up their sleeve for when they really go against each other. But right now, it's just kind of we get to see how the teams are doing, and they get to really practice against something because Overwatch doesn't really have anywhere else they can go for that level of play.
Right.
Right.
Roster swaps in League of Legends have been crazy, but we can talk a little bit more about that in our Hero Select. For now, though, it's funny that you mentioned, I'm really glad you mentioned PUBG and its success in the IEM Oakland Invitational, because I have a question for you.
Okay.
And now it's time for our PvP segment, where we ask the question, is PUBG ready for esports?
Ooh. Okay. All right.
I feel like it is.
Ooh.
State your case.
I get the feeling that I am,
Yeah.
this might be the minority vote. I think that PUBG has a great mixture of the realistic shooter with like weapons that people like will recognize from like Call of Duty or real life, but with a massive scale, a bit of RNG to just make it a crazy experience, and like literally a number countdown in the beginning may be tiresome, but that last like 10 players, nothing comes close to that level of drama of like, and now there's 12, and now there's 10, and now there's 6, and now there's 3.
Yeah. No, it does make you feel quite a lot of things, I must agree.
Salt.
But yeah, salt being one of them, one of the numerous ingredients in this PUBG dish we're serving up here. But there's a lot of RNG in the game, right?
It lives off it, yeah.
It lives off of RNG. And I like the direction they're taking, but honestly, I'm gonna say PUBG's ready for esports.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, so I
All right, no, I'm confused. So what was that grief you were giving me before?
so PUBG, they're figuring it out very, very slowly. They're figuring it out for sure. What they figured out now is, so at the Intel Extreme Masters tournament, at these tournaments that they're having, the way that they've set up the tournaments is to counter the RNG and the randomness of the game. They've just made the players play like 8 games in a row. So if you consistently come out on top, there's got to be something good about you. You know what I mean?
One of the best players can be knocked out because he got into a punch match in the beginning.
Exactly.
Because they couldn't find any guns.
Yeah,
Well,
you couldn't find any guns.
Yeah.
The looting area you went to just didn't have anything. Yeah. RNG. But they found a smart way to counter it for now. So I think, given that direction, they might have something in their hands.
That's interesting. Again, I mean, based on what we were talking about last week about franchising and how, it's kind of difficult to have a manufactured sort of experience compared to our homegrown experience, like the organic building of esports. I think that PUBG right now is in a place where I think a lot of people are trying to force the esports. You know what I mean? It's not even a full game. It's so buggy. It's the RNG.
It's not released.
Yeah, the RNG isn't even just in the game mechanics. It's in like the fire rate and like the random accuracy changes. It's just I can't stand playing the game just because I can have my cursor on my reticle on somebody, headshot. No, just kidding. It went somewhere else, and that's just so dissatisfying. And like that would be dissatisfying for me to see a player lose to something like that,
In a way, that is like something that every player fights with, which is kind of what I think they're expecting to be what makes it fair, compared to Team Fortress 2, for example, had some difficulties getting off the ground, and one of the issues was crits.
Oh yeah.
You'd be firing rockets. You'd be firing rockets, and all of a sudden one of them would be bright blue. And that was a level of RNG that people just could not get behind.
Yeah.
There's a couple things like the RNG from the spray, from the looting, like these are going to be constant things. They're just like inherent to the nature of the game. What we're going to have to really watch out for is, Battle Royale as a genre now. With PUBG, and because of Fortnite and stuff, we'll have to see if people are going to take the esports scene to Fortnite or if they're going to stick with PUBG. Because people feel like that, like a lot of people feel like you do about PUBG. The netcode is bad. It's optimized so terribly. And they're just frustrated because it's like, I should be able to kill people.
Basically, the only way I think this will work is if big name brands buy into PUBG like they did with Overwatch and League.
Right.
And then build up the personalities that make the stories in PUBG and Overwatch and League.
Yeah, they got to sell jerseys with names on them.
Exactly. And so what better way to do that with a game with small teams where you can really isolate and care about the players and care about their actual lives in the game. Exactly.
max.
Yeah, I really think that it has the most compelling story. When you get into a team, then you're reaching for something that's too similar to other games that do it better. You know what I mean? Let's be honest.
Yeah, there are squads, there's duos, there's trios, and there's singles. But honestly, I've got to go with the squads because those four-man
squads.
Yeah, four-man squads has got to be the way to go for me personally. I think so because the dynamic that you have with the team, communicating with them and relaying the information to your team, just that really the aspect of teamwork is what's appealing. Because if you look at traditional sports too, like basketball, football, soccer, and if you look at League, Overwatch, all these things that compel people to come to the game, like you said, you're selling the personalities, you're selling stories, you're selling a team. You know what I mean? You're selling like a sense of community almost. And I feel like you might miss out on that when you have the solos. It might work out for like Summit or Shroud, maybe Doctrine Disrespect. Yeah. But it's like, let's get some community building going. Let's get some real storyline. Let's get a team you can get behind and just follow for a little bit. And yeah.
With squad, if someone gets shot in the head by a sniper rifle, a big moment in the game. Yeah. But in PUBG, someone just falls to their knees and they can be revived if they're behind cover.
Yeah, kind of weird. So, you get a AWM, one shot from an AWM can headshot you and knock you out with a level 3 helmet.
Wow.
Yeah.
It'll shoot through a level 3 helmet, but it'll only knock you out.
Yeah. And break your helmet.
Yeah.
But
you'll be fine.
It's
just
not the same level of drama of like, oh my gosh,
realism.
that guy's out.
Yeah, that's it.
And compared to instead like, oh, and now he's on the ground.
It's like,
hopefully his teammates
boom, a
can get to him.
headshot. Oh, now he has another chance.
Yeah. So, do you think that kind of slows down the speed of it?
Honestly, I'm a very traditional FPS kind of guy, like Counter-Strike back in the day.
Absolutely.
Headshot, kill. You know what I mean?
It's supposed to.
But PUBG, they emphasize the squad nature of the game. Because if you're too far from your team and you get headshot, then you die. You don't even get a chance to be revived. So intrinsically, they want you to work together as a team. They want you to stay close.
I think that's a really interesting thing that would be new versus, the squad thing, right? We're seeing, team synergy and that kind of thing, which could be very well implemented in PUBG, but I feel like that would then just go in direct competition with other team games that have pretty legit esports platforms already, cough League of Legends and I guess Overwatch maybe.
I get the feeling this is going to be a running thing.
Running joke, yes.
Do you know me?
If it's split as squad or solo, it still comes down to that there are up to 100 players on a map at one time. And there's this really cool, I would love to see this. I feel like it would make it very cinematic. It would make for a great show.
Yeah.
In an esports scene, PlayerUnknown himself talked about, Brendan Green, talked about having a camera set up way above all the players that were competing in the match. And everyone's like setup would have a light. So it would start off as just like a block of lights of all the people playing. And then as players died, got taken out of the game, the light would go out.
Yeah. Well, they actually did something like super similar to that at the PUBG, the Asia Invitational. They had something very, very similar.
Because it sounds awesome.
Yeah,
because like
sweet.
at first it's like, oh, there's a light, and eventually when it switches over from there's more shadow than light would be interesting.
Yeah.
And then when it gets down to there's just 10 lights and then 5 lights, and then there's 2 lights and maybe they're next to each other.
Yeah.
Maybe they're on opposite corners.
Yeah.
That's actually really sick, actually.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
It would work
build up
really
though.
well too. Yeah. And I think there's a picture floating around of the way they set it up. They did it vertically too, so you can sit down as a spectator and watch this thing happen.
There's a lot of space in stadiums.
Yeah.
There's a lot of space they can work with.
That's wild.
The point being, though, the greatest thing to me, and also the worst thing that probably that PUBG has against itself being an esport, is the size of it. I love the fact that in the 8x8 kilometer island, that there are sections of the map I still haven't seen, that I still haven't traveled to. That is awesome. It's like Fallout, but now in multiplayer. It's great. And compared to a small circular map in like Call of Duty or even Overwatch, there are like side rooms, but there's a path. There's a clear path you're following and minimal exploration. Compared to PUBG, if you get in a firefight with someone and you're not doing well, you can leave.
Yeah. Just get out of there.
You don't even need a car. You can just
No.
walk the other way. And I love that.
I guess.
It adds a different level of strategy.
Can you imagine the
It does.
casting?
Scene.
And then Jim Basco disappears into the forest. Who knows where he went?
Exactly.
Not that guy.
It's like throws down the smoke and walks away. That's
Like
it.
a ninja.
Yeah, it's
Because
like,
in-
what?
In Call of Duty, it's small enough that if you go the other way, it's like, oh, they're going to be flanking. PUBG is just like, they just said GTFO.
Yeah.
Let's just
I guess
get out of Dodge.
I guess there's like a chord to hit the middle between having a game that turns out to be cross-country simulator and a game like a good competitive game. And you know, they're messing around with the settings in tournaments a lot. Like they'll put the multipliers for item drop rates. They'll put that up. They'll put it to 1.25. They'll like get rid of the crates sometimes. They'll modify things so that it's easier for the game to progress. They realize, so they know that it's like, hey man, this thing gets too slow at sometimes. How can we fix it? They're taking steps, but I think they really need to speed up that first part of the game.
Yeah, probably. Because, again, there's like the rush at the beginning for supplies.
Yeah.
And then there's this awkward middle section where everyone's kind of trying to find an assault rifle and a suppressor. And then the last part where it's like crammed into who knows, let's see where. But which made it great for streaming.
It makes it great for streaming. Those single and duo queues really bring out the personalities. And that's exactly what they were taking advantage. Summit, Shroud, Dr. Disrespect, man.
I haven't heard of them.
You know what I mean? Like,
You're not real if you haven't
I'm
heard of
kidding.
it.
Who has?
Honestly.
like these people came from H1Z1. It's a very similar type of game, but it
Oh, yeah, that was really
it didn't have exactly what PUBG has. The amount of timing, the suspense it builds, like it missed a key component. PUBG got that and allowed for people like him to come to the forefront. And I think that is going to be huge.
Oh,
It's
that's
going to
interesting.
continue to be huge.
That's
Even if
interesting.
nothing is happening in PUBG, it feels like it's building up to something.
Yeah, it's suspense.
Well,
tension.
also, if you want to be cynical, right, that dead zone in the game, well, you know, as I am, that dead zone in the game almost allows a streamer to kind of showcase their personality.
Yeah.
Because there's like, you don't really need to pay attention, right? Because you're just scanning an empty horizon line for movement,
You're
right?
running across the cornfield.
Right. So you can just sort of, you know, play up and talk to your chat and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Now, that's not something that'll translate in a tournament. That's not something that'll translate in esports. So do you think that, because I know right now I think PUBG is abhorrent to look at. I can't spectate that game to be, it's a wash of grays and browns to me, but maybe my eyes are just old or something. But
My eyes were old.
maybe, I don't know. But
Every now and again, there's a splash of red in the crates or the blood splatter.
right, I just pay attention to the little
Writing,
the
the
notification, and I'm just
scriptures
like,
on the
okay,
left.
who has killed who? Who has killed who? Cool.
Yeah.
The God
And then
statements.
Dr. Disrespect killed Slow-Mo Man 75 with the car 98.
So
there was
saith
much
player
rejoicing.
unknown. So saith
And
player
thus
unknown.
it was written. Yeah, like that was it.
No, but really though.
67 left.
So that's what do you think PUBG needs to do, or maybe I'm just wrong. What does PUBG need to do to be more watchable? Because we've already talked about the dead zone in the game itself, but like, they're coming out with a better spectate client or something, right? Or like they're revamping their spectating, or maybe I just heard that, or maybe I dreamed it and hoped.
It's like it's a combination of a couple of things. So in typical games, when you have like a football game or some like an Overwatch league, you have a team and they go do XYZ activity and things happen in return for performing said
like
activity.
it's in formation.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
It's like they will do this thing and this will happen. Overwatch, you cap the point, you keep it capped for this amount of time, you win the game. PUBG is not so black and white. You have different strategies. You can camp outside the circle, you can be inside of it, you can be a healer bot, or there's a lot
it's
of
like, it's hard to tell who's winning.
yeah, it's hard to tell who's winning until you win. You know what I mean? Like Evermore, dude, that guy played around this. I keep bringing him up because he played around the circle until the very end. Not one kill, won the Intel Extreme Masters Invitational. Not one kill.
How did he survive?
Stayed outside the circle, shot himself up
Oh,
with
just stayed outside with
first
the
aid
meds.
kits.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say, like, hid in a river or in a bush.
No, God. Look, they do that though. They'll like wait in water,
imagine.
wait in rivers, and like
Oh yeah.
watch time go by. It's like, what are you doing, man? Play the game.
And that's
Yeah.
BS. That's why I am not a huge fan of the idea of PUBG being a sport, being an esport, a viable esport. But okay, let's wrap this up. Get final conclusions. In one statement, do you think PUBG can be a viable esport? Kyle.
I think yes. My vote would be yes. I feel like PUBG has the popularity that they will find a way to make it work.
Okay. Jimmy.
I think yes, but it'll be different than other esports because, like you said, they have the window to exploit singles and duos, so they can really make use of Twitch personalities, Mixer personalities, what have you. So
Nice.
they could do a lot of different things.
All right.
And your own vote?
I'm on the fence about it still, but I actually want to know what you guys think. Comment below and let us know. But for now, let's bring it back to our roster swap situation.
Yeah, you were talking about that earlier.
So we're going to take it into Hero Select where we talk about, more specific team news across all 3 games. I really want to start with League, guys. I'm kind of going to commandeer this one.
That's fair.
Because
That's fair.
the drama is real. Like,
Okay,
I'm not
okay.
even kidding. So consider this.
Yeah.
Your TSM, Team Solo Mid, #1 in NALCS for like a long time now. You are disputed, you're undisputed best in NA. I'm sorry, C9 fans. I'm sorry, CLG
Yeah, I was gonna
fans.
say it's C9 fanboys.
It's happening. They're first. Like, you can't. You have to admit it. And then 3/5 of your team leaves.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, TSM fans. You're feeling this one now. But as a Dignitas fan, I don't really have any remorse. I'm sorry.
After seeing your team dismantled.
My
and
team doesn't
destroyed.
exist anymore.
Yeah,
Again.
Long gone.
That being said, so Doublelift, arguably the best damage carry in NA, has moved to Team Liquid. Now, okay, Team Liquid kind of has this thing, this meme, like paid by Steve, who's the owner of Team Liquid. He just has a lot of money. He's working with backings from like Disney, for example. So he's got a lot of
Team
money to
Liquid's
throw
got
around.
A lot of liquid.
But the interesting
We're
thing
going to see a
about
Team Liquid movie coming soon? That's what?
that would be interesting because they do have that like Trojan horse motif. So
That is true.
it does lend itself to some cartoons. But pay us if you take that, Team Liquid, by the way.
Copyright,
Right here, right here. That being said, though, that would not really be news. I mean, it's a pretty hefty acquisition, and I'm sure he got paid bank for it.
Yeah.
But he actually, in the spring split of this year, dropped out. He cited overwork. He got really burnt out by the game, wanted to take a break, and so he spent the first split streaming, not playing.
Oh.
Toward the end of the split,
Okay.
Team Liquid wasn't looking really good. They basically brought Doublelift on as a mercenary to save themselves from being at the bottom of the ladder.
Gotcha.
You think there's a fear of them getting relegated?
Well, Doublelift, as sad as he is to
Yeah.
be parted from TSM,
Right.
all of the players have developed a significant camaraderie over time, and it's shown on social media. But Doublelift has already said, of course, because he's talking smack, he has said, "I'm really sorry to see to be separated from my teammates. You guys are all great, but I'm demolishing you in LCS." So the gauntlet has been thrown. All right.
Ooh.
So IMT didn't make it into franchising,
Right.
et cetera, et cetera. Team Liquid, in their infinite wealth, has also acquired 3/5 of IMT. So if you think about it, I mean, one of them is Cody's son,
Yeah,
which
right.
obviously you're not going to place as a starter in front of Doublelift, but Doublelift has the thing that he burnt out on last time. He has someone to trade off on.
Yeah.
He has a godlike support in Ole.
Yeah, Ole's
He
a
has-
monster.
He has impacts from C9, who is originally on the team, one of SKT's rosters that
SKT
won.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
He's from originally then, and then he's done a lot of great stuff on C9 as well. And Smithy, who was like the brains of the operation last time.
And he's been in the scene for a long time.
He's one of the oldest players at this point, and
Yeah.
he's a star jungler when
Yeah.
he's got a really good team to back him up. So Team Liquid, before being like kind of the laughing stock, there was a joke that they were forever fourth, have now found their way into having this super team, and they're looking super formidable now.
Isn't the old adage, if you can't beat them, buy them?
As a New Yorker, I'm aware of that. Hashtag Yankees.
Hey man, that's working. But I think Team Liquid's gonna be sweet. You know, in Overwatch, they were present for a good amount of the beginning of Overwatch, but then they kind of pulled out of it. Immortals, on the other hand, invested more into Overwatch, less
Very
into League
much
now.
so.
Yeah, super into Overwatch, less into League. So it's weird to see how these two teams have split, especially considering Immortals, you know, where they came from. They came from League.
Yeah. They came from League and they
Yeah.
dominated League. I'm really sad to see them
dominated
go.
League.
But it's interesting. People suggest that part of the reason that Riot did not accept them was
Yeah.
because of the amount of investment they were putting into Overwatch
Yeah.
League. I'm not too sure about that. I feel like there are other things that may have contributed, but I mean, that's what some sources say. It's time for our patch notes now, where we give details about changes within the games themselves. Do you want to start with, how's Moira been? Is she on live now?
She is absolutely fantastic.
Really?
I've got to say. So I was really, really pessimistic when she came out because I was like, oh, this hero's an actual piece of garbage. Because I was like, why do I have to do damage as a healer to be able to heal my team? Because I want to be positioned safely, not in harm's way, whatever. They did a really smart thing with that shift ability of hers. It's on 5-second cooldown. So as Moira, I find myself earning silver damage and gold or silver healing every game now. And it's ridiculous because I'm actually having fun and I'm still healing my team.
The shift ability, just to be specific because there are console players,
Yeah.
is her fade ability, where she goes invincible, and gets a super boost of speed for about 2 seconds.
Yeah, and you
Which is great
jump
for if someone, like, if a jump comes at her,
Yeah.
she disappears and can get away really fast. She can't take damage during that time to be revealed like Sombra. She can get a lot farther away than, say, Reaper and be invisible during it. So
Yeah.
it allows Moira to really get out of a sticky situation.
It's really good, and it's just like you said, dive meaning the most popular way to play Overwatch right now is to choose a composition that goes right to the enemy's
Very mobile.
healers. Yeah, super mobile, lots of damage. You just focus, you kill that healer. They got no heals. Start focusing everyone else
Right.
down.
Similar in League, you just go past
Exactly.
the tanks, right?
Exactly. You
Yeah,
just got to position yourself, get that support. With Moira now, once that other team decides to target you, just fade away. Fade back to your team and you're back in safety.
That's
Very
cool.
nice. That counterplay was super sweet and definitely needed, I think.
Huh. You don't think it's OP?
There's a fine line to walk because you don't want her to turn into Zenyatta because you could still get gold healing and gold damage as Zenyatta.
Yeah.
It's harder, it's different, but I think it's going to require some tweaking, maybe so I don't end up with silver damage every game as a healer, but they got some time.
It's okay, blame team. Blame
Yeah, right?
In League, I mean, I'm just going to talk about Zoe forever if you let me, because Zoe is amazing.
Right.
I kind of went through some of her abilities, but like that whole slingshot thing is just so nuts. Like it really changes the game because, you know, tunneling is already a big deal in League of
Yeah.
Legends, right?
Yeah.
You tend to drill down and focus on the things that are in your very, you know, near area, right? And that already causes players some strife, especially some new players. But like
Oh, yeah.
having to look everywhere because you don't know where this yo-yo is going to be coming from is so nuts and so gratifying.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really excited to be pushed to that next level.
I feel like the last time I felt like this with a champion was with like Azir. I remember last week we took a look at he would raise the soldiers from the ground, send them scoping out. Yeah, it's somewhat
one of the ones I
similar.
actually know about. Great.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I got you, man.
Exactly. So yeah, I really love her, and I could just, again, I'm a Zoe main, and no one can stop me. Let's talk about PUBG.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
So
get right into
PUBG's
it.
got some new stuff coming out. The game is going to be coming out in this December officially. It'll be finally out of our early access. It'll be coming to
Finally.
the consoles.
Okay.
And they have advertised some stuff that is going to be out before it comes out on the console,
Yes.
before it gets its release,
Yeah.
as well as some stuff that's going to be coming after. So they just released, and it's all in the equivalent of the PTR of the test servers.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
It's
right,
called
right.
for PUBG.
Okay.
They released 2 new guns. The DP28 is a light machine gun. So you kind of have a small turret, and that's all across the map. You can find that anywhere. Old drum magazine. Really powerful, but no attachments. So what it is what it will be. Well, I think 7 of us scoped.
Okay.
So the Alga Assault Rifle is coming to PUBG. and it's going to be a loot crate only weapon. So it's going to be powerful. It's not going to be seen as much as the other guns, but it's going to be coming into the game.
Yeah.
There's a few more things that are not yet in the game they've advertised, such as there's going to be, I think they said, 3 possible vehicles. Now, this is only by, what's it called, where you search into the data and find, like, models.
Oh, data mining.
Yeah.
Data mining. So we found a few models for vehicles, which they might possibly be just, like, terrain.
Yeah.
So we're not quite sure.
Yeah.
But there was, like, a Volkswagen van. There's, like, a more armored truck or something. And
An armored truck?
not quite an armored truck,
Oh my
but
God.
a more military truck than the Jeep is.
Dude, that would be ridiculous.
That'll kill you even faster.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? I mean, I would love to see it. They haven't announced it, so who knows? Anything's up in the air.
Okay.
But imagine if there was a loot box that actually was a vehicle.
What?
Like, imagine like an armored truck falling from the plane, landing on the
Oh,
ground.
I thought you meant the box would fall and I would get in
Transform
the
it.
box and drive away. I was like, that's
No.
a little crazy.
But we're going to have some more vehicles in the game, as well as some new places to drive those vehicles.
Okay.
New maps?
They've already talked about a desert map. There's been a lot of discussion about that, but now they're confirming that it's going to be coming out post-launch.
Beautiful.
And they have some new names for the town, so unfortunately Murder Town is gone.
Shucks.
But
It
we're
was
actually,
called Murder Town?
it was
The
Murder
working
Town
title,
or
okay?
Murder
The
City.
working
I'm not
title?
sure of the Berg aspect of it, but yes, it sounded like something out of a Mad Max world.
Yeah.
But they're actually going to be replaced with real names. Okay. As well as we have found information on another map. It's going to be another island, big, just like our current Erangel is.
Okay.
But very little is known about it.
All right.
That other than there's going to be forests, and there's going to be a snowy capped mountain, and the wreckage of a Soviet Union Cosmodrome.
Both those guns seem like mid-range guns, right?
Yeah.
So
Long
I wonder
mid-range,
if
yeah.
I wonder if they're going to be like encouraging more just like, you know, face to face kind of like muscly battles.
I want another shotgun now.
So we've heard a lot today. We've got a lot to look forward to in all 3 of these games. A lot of action coming up. But I'd love to hear what you guys have to think. So go ahead and leave us a comment and tell us what you're into, what you're most excited about. For now, that's all we have for today. I am Judy, aka Jetset.
I'm Jimmy, a.k.a. Jim Basco.
And I'm Kyle Stover, aka Alpha Lance. You can follow us all on Twitter or subscribe to the Leaderboard, your home for video game facts. Be sure to hit that bell icon to be part of the notification squad so you'll be up to date on when our videos come out to the minute. And thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day.